would you rather your dad comes home drunk or your mom comes home drunk?
Okay.
Which, if you had to pick, like someone is coming to
Dad
pass
for
out in the
sure.
living room, who would you
Dad.
rather comes to
Dad
pass
for
out in
sure.
the
Dad for sure. And I think there's something Mercy loves to tell me. She tells me, you know, when it's your dad that messed up, Ama, when your childhood trauma is for your dad, it's very easy for you to navigate life.
Yeah.
Most of us were traumatized by our fathers.
Yeah.
But when it's your mom, it hits.
It scars you differently. It will scar you differently.
There's no club for that.
There's no club for scarred by mothers.
Yeah.
So you're not many.
Yeah.
But for dads, you even find that your friend will give you coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
She's also in the same boat.
Yeah.
There's also something you asked and we kind of didn't answer it. And you asked about young girls who maybe they're hungry for whatever reasons and they're finding themselves in relationships for money.
Yeah.
First of all, let's make it clear. Not all of them are there because they're dying of hunger. Many are there for the lifestyle. Let's just be
and
clear.
Influence, right?
And influence.
Yeah.
Many of them are well fed, they are well clothed. Your parent has paid your parent has paid for a hostel. So you don't need it.
Actually, if I think about it right now, like for most that I've seen and maybe like I know, they come from houses where like they were given everything.
Yeah.
They're given everything now. And an example would be like, you know, unfortunately, but she was also my friend, Starlet. Because you see, like now after just crossing the new year, the first news that comes from the femicide situation is a lady who's been slaughtered, like not slaughtered because she was stabbed, the wrong arteries and stuff, but there was too much blood in that house. But now my thing is like, that's somebody I know, right? And I was still confused a bit, but I didn't understand why. That wasn't the confusing part. The confusing part came in when I saw the face of the guy she had gone to meet. I was like, you know what? I was like, okay, listen, this was confusing, but now I'm completely confused. Because even if the cops were to do something, they're supposed to ask this guy, exactly what did you say to her? Because I think everyone was concerned about that. It's like the way she looks and this guy, no way. We don't understand. We can't put two together. Because now, if we actually honestly go to family, mom is well off. Mom has a nice car. Brother is doing well. I mean, so we're just like, no, we need a whole other explanation. But now I think that's where the influence comes in.
Also,
lifestyle.
There's that, and also with growing up, you're going to have trauma at some point. Because remember that your parents are people. When they are bringing you up, maybe your parents have gotten laid off. They're dealing with stress in another way. There's in-law drama, there's nini. So at some point, they're going, and then remember parenting, you only know if you did a good job looking back. When you were there, sometimes you fumbled. All of us were raised by human beings. So I feel like sometimes you find that these girls who are going for the money and for the lifestyle, maybe there's something, if you feel, if for real, you know it's not for the money, you don't need the money for real. That is why she's saying that therapy is for everyone. You're asking yourself, why can't I just be okay with what my parents are giving me? They're already giving me enough. Then get into therapy. Get to know, where did it start? Where did it stem from? Because when you're young, the thing is, even now, even when you're old, your life is made of one decision at a time. You make one good decision or one bad decision. And then when you make good decisions, mostly good decisions, you look back and you're like, I had a good life. When you make mostly bad decisions, you look back and all decisions compound.
They compound.
It's not just one decision. This one decision is going to compound and lead to another. So we've already said, we're not talking about those ones who are already starving nanini, because they are very few. They are very few. Yeah, and even when helping them, it's very many facets of help. Like, there are very many ways of helping them, because now this person is hungry. Are you going to come and changia for the coffin after they are dead? So helping them has to do with psychology, has to do with empowering them financially. It's very complicated. So we're not talking about them because they're few, and we can't help them by talking on a podcast.
And also, I think teaching about contentment. You know, most people assume that you go to social media and you see someone has a better life than you.
Yeah.
And it's a big lie. All of us have...
You see someone doing unboxing videos every week.
Yeah. But when you align everyone's life...
I always apologize every time I do that. And I'm telling people, please. I always tell people I've worked hard for a very long time. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I'm in my early 20s and that's why I'm doing this. So I always try and make sure. Because even when you see like in comments, someone's like, yo, in another life I'd want to be you. I'm like, no. Look at this. You work for a certain duration, you'll be able to do this for yourself. You'll be able to do this for yourself. Anything you see around me, take it as influence. Because even for me, there are people that I'm always looking, I'm like, wow, that's a good level. But I don't want their shoes. I want to build. I don't want it that badly. No, like if I work hard, now I afford to go to the next level. To the next level, just like that. But I understand. Sorry, go on.
A good exercise you could do is if you align all your friends in a row and you even take a notebook and you align, this is Mercy, this is Sheelah, this is Rachel, this is who and who, you'd find that everyone is blessed in a certain way. Like this one has a good career, but her husband is a big mess. This one doesn't have a good career. She probably doesn't have kids, but she has a really big support system. Like her mom loves her, her dad loves her. Just like that. Like everyone is, God is so fair that everyone
He balances out something. He'll give you something that somebody else doesn't have, to be honest.
And this thing of take it from a therapist. People who are in happy relationships don't post about how happy they are.
They don't. Actually, it's true. They don't. They're busy enjoying it. They're busy enjoying it.
It is the people that are crazy that get to prove. They have something to prove.
That's true.
It's people who are probably in very crazy dynamics relationships are the one who will come and post, let me post your hand on social media because I know there's someone else who'll see that hand and be like, hiyo ni mkono yetu.
I've been used so many times. Just brought out PTSD. I'm just like, that's why they were posting. I'm like, so like that somebody else can see.
The owner of the car, if for instance, if I post today a photo of myself in a Mercedes Benz, it's very likely it's not mine. The owner of the car doesn't need to show people that I owe this one. So that's the thing. People take social media so seriously, and it's not. Social media is a platform. It's a walk. It's inaitangwa nini ile walk modeling.
Wait, what? Runway.
It's a runway, and people are bringing in their best show.
Their best. You don't get to see their downs.
You don't get to see their real.
Something you've said I'd really like to weigh in on about unboxing. I'd also like for us to normalize it being that even if you were in your 20s and you're unboxing equipment that's really expensive, I should be okay with not being where you are because you all are very different.
Our journeys are very different.
Very different. And I don't know if you will talk about it in parenting. Now we are being taught that if your child is not doesn't get the coolest toy and you can't afford it, it's a chance to teach them it's okay if other kids have other things
better than you.
It's very much okay because you also have things that they don't, or even if they have everything that you don't, it's okay. So that when even us now, we have to parent ourselves in our age, because now we can't say my mom went wrong. Your mom, there was no social media when your mom was raising you. So now parent yourself and tell yourself it's okay for other people to have things that I don't have,
including fathers.
Yes,
even fathers.
Some kids will have loving dads.
It's okay for other people to have bigger cars. It's very much okay. It shouldn't get me to the point where I will do anything to also show you that I have the same thing.
And someone else having something takes nothing away from you. Mercy being my best friend, if she has something, si ati Mungu alimpea akaninyima,
and it's not like it was to come to you. It wasn't that you know one of you has to get one piece, one
hapa kuna gari moja iende kwa nani.
But my contribution to that though would be now, and you also have to understand how sensitive this situation becomes, because now you'll notice, like even on social media, a lot of older women, you don't advise young girls. And I'm not saying you guys don't advise young girls, because I think deep down women know women best. They know. That's why I say, like, even women can be, like, in a group, even if they don't like each other, the enemy could just be sitting next to you. But you know already, like, hey, this person is capable of doing A, B, C, and D. So I think it's unfortunate because, you see, like, young girls, they can always do something wrong, but the woman who's next to her, they would never say anything. But I also know why. Because they know I was young at some point, and if I was getting the attention that this person is getting right now, I know very well how a young girl's mind works. That's why, let's say, this big, super influential, like, let's say, women in Kenya, have you ever, in fact, since the femicide thing was happening, have you heard any one of them say anything about young girls or anything? I don't want to pick out names because some of them, like, I know them in person, but have you heard any of them say anything? Big, influential, like, women. Big ones, the ones that
Who
people
just have to
follow,
say one
the who's
thing
and who's that
like
people...
100,000
Yeah, if they say
people.
something and tell we have a match tomorrow about Nini, have you seen any of them say anything?
Okay.
And wait, let me finish. Because even some of them, like, they're in a better financial situation, they're slightly older, and let's say they have, like, the beauty edge that also Nini. They know very well how, at that age, how their mind was functioning. So what they know, and I think they know deep down, is like, I don't think I can tell a 22-year-old girl who's pretty and men are showering her with gifts what she can do. Because what she'll say is like, oh, Mezeka, you're just too old. That's why you're jealous, maybe. And you can see it. You can see that's why, like, you see so many young girls led. Somebody can have the nerve to say, like, I'd rather a Nigerian dismember me than a broke Kenyan man breaking my back. You know psychologically where that person is. Like, yeah, I'm ready to die as long as this person is giving me money.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying still again, like, you will never see those big influential women. They're always, nobody's talking about it. It's now like maybe you guys who are on TikTok, you can open those discussions, but people who have millions of followers, you'll see them posting anything about femicide. You know?
I think they're already a brand. When you have 1 million followers, you're a brand.
Yeah.
And that's such a delicate topic.
Yeah.
It will rub, it's a very polarizing topic. Anything that is trending is very polarizing because half the country is on this side, it's blaming women, half of it is blaming men.
Yeah.
So no matter what you say, someone will take it the wrong way. When you have a huge following, even when you have a small following, yes, people will be like, are you supporting femicide? What are you doing? Like when you tell girls, don't go to your business, are you supporting femicide?
Can you really tell a young girl right now not to go and meet someone in an Airbnb?
That theory, it's not a theory actually, it's a fact.
Because every other weekend, we know Airbnbs are full. That's why the business is booming in Kenya. And people are not going there to play chess.
Older women and younger men. It's it's men in their late 30s, 40s. Girls
they are going
20s,
to play with Nini and
because no married couple is going
of
to
course not.
So it's not a theory. The thing that people say is the brain hasn't fully developed until you're in your mid-20s. It's not a theory.
Which is true.
So
I would agree with
So, and you can actually feel it as you get older and you get to 26 and 7.
Like by then I was
what?
So it changes. What was I thinking?
Yeah, it changes. Now, before you get there, you there's a lot of things you lack. You lack forethought. You cannot calculate consequences. You lack impulse control. Like you could tell a 25-year-old, tuamke twende Marsabit leo. And they'd be like, twende.
True.
But I cannot call her or you and be like, twende. You'd be like,
even on house. Friday, like before you, even on Friday,
what are we going
to do? Are you drinking?
Where are we going? Where are we going to spend
There's
the
no
night?
fun that is there that is enough to make me be like, I'm going. You know, nani ataendesha gari? Who's fueling? Like I have.
So how much will it cost? Are we like cost sharing? Am you paying
That's
everything?
why you see. I've talked about this
23-year-old
so many times. Like somebody would call and say like, "Yo, imagine we have probably a bill here. We couldn't." And then I'm like, "How many people are you on the table?" They're like 7. It's like, so 7 people. You're just having fun, a blast. Nobody knew who's going to pay the bill. How is that even possible? But now if I look back at somebody who's young, it's like their mind doesn't even...
At yourself,
when you were at that age. The mind is just a whole different. True. But now you can't do that to me. I'll be like, hey, wait. I drank 1 glass of whiskey, a double shot. Bring me my bill. Whoever else here has drunk, by the way, you need to. And I think that's just how, like, now, when you get to a certain age, you start taking accountability and you just think things through before.
Cautious.
You're not going with impulse.
They've
said you're not going with impulse.
You're not going with impulse, you're going with cautiousness.
Would you go and meet Macharia even in public?
Even no matter how
in
rich
public.
you are.
I'd have so many questions, even I'd kill the mood. And you know, that
Kill the
song,
vibe, be like, hey, we are partner. No.
that song for Amelina sang some song with some dude Kitambo, and it says that ujana ni moshi na hauna ujuzi. Like, it goes so fast and you're not wise then. And this is when you're forming your life. You know, these are the decisions that are deciding how your life is going to be. Some people are very blessed to be able to change their life further on, even after the mistakes that they made. But some have paid with their life. So I think for the young people, what I'd say is, imagine no one is jealous. Because whoever these older people, whatever they're telling you, is the same thing your mom would tell you. And there's no one who has your back like your mom. There's no one on earth who has your back like your mom. So if I'm telling you, if I'm an older person telling you something that you're like, even my mom would never tell that, even my aunties would never tell me that, then you might think maybe she's jealous. But if the advice I'm giving you is the same, you know, by this time, you already know. If you get yourself in a mess and you call your mom, you already know even the words she'll use. So you already know the advice your mom would tell you. So please, it's hard to override that thing for it. You're young and you don't have forethought, but it's possible to override it.
You can.
It doesn't mean that because it's hard, it's not doable.
Plus now the consequences are more harsher than from guys for Kitambo. So you also have to understand, like, even if you're coming from Gen Z, you're supposed to even sharpen up much faster. Because we can't just keep saying they are young, but it's also for somebody who's like past 18. That's why they have an ID. You see, because if they're going to like a hotel room meeting some old guy who's like 50, 60, I mean, that's why the person for the reception is like, okay, sir, welcome. Can I have your ID? Nini. You're both consenting adults. But now if you go to somewhere like Mombasa, where you find these old white people walking around with 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 16-year-olds. See, like we've said, they are sent by their parents because they're bringing back home a little bit of... so nobody's paying really much attention to it. But now, I mean, I don't know. But what's your take? You wanted to say something? Yeah,
I feel like when you're younger as well, success looks different. As you get older, it changes. But when you're younger, success is a big car. It's a nice house. It's exquisite things, So because I've had a lady inboxed me on TikTok and said, "Hi Sheelah, I want you to mentor my daughter." And I'm like, "How old is she?" She's 18, 19. And we set the meet, okay? And the girl is coming. She's driving a better car than you. She looks better than you. She has a more expensive phone than you. I mean, even the imposter comes like, wait, she should be the one mentoring
What are you supposed to? How are you supposed to guide her now?
Like, what am I supposed to tell? And this lady is honestly concerned. She says, I don't know where she's getting this huge amount of money. I know it involves a very powerful politician. Now, am I willing to risk my life with a politician? And this lady is going to tell her, the politician, kuna mama pale, ananiambia ni wa China. Now, am I willing to lose my life like that? So in that case, it's like,
but I'm also, I think that's also something that you've mentioned, and I think that's very important. I think at times, even as parents, and I talked about this in the podcast before, like, I don't think there's anywhere, and me, I'm a guy, I would have walked in the house with something that's expensive without my mom just asking me. Even, I think even growing up, even when I earned it, I was like a bit hesitant of showing and actually explaining how I could manage to get such a thing. But nowadays, like, I think when like a mom says something like that, like, I don't know where my daughter is getting this.
That is a healthy mom.
I'm
even us. Now you are employed, you have your own money, but when you buy something expensive, your mom is like,
come on. You'll be like,
now you have to downplay it. If you bought it at 12K, you have to say 2,000.
Yes.
2,000.
You have
it wasn't that expensive. Because a parent who is a good parent would be concerned.
They'll definitely ask, like, hey,
what is happening?
Yeah. Who are you?
Like, this is someone who loves you for you, not for what you can do for them. So they're like,
And that's a very good example of what we were talking about. when we were saying that it has to start at home.
It has to start at home.
Because you see, what makes the society? It's our small families. We meet out here, we call each other society. So if we have more conversations at home, healthy conversations at home, then when this child is coming to the world, they have a healthy outlook of the world. If at home, your mom is just looking at neighbors, huyu ananga pesa, and you can see your mom only give respect to people who have money.
Yeah, it's true.
There's no one who's going to tell you that you can't do anything for money. You will
actually do anything
for money
as long as money.
That is so we also have, and when you're talking about society, we're talking about us. We are part of the society.
True.
So it starts with everyone in their own home, with your cousins, with your small nieces, with anyone who you have influence over. And you try and tell them it's not all about money. Think about your mental health. Think about the way you feel about what you did. Think about the way it affects your other areas of life. So when they look at life and success as a holistic kind of thing,
look at it different.
Then it won't just be all about the money. But if all the information that's coming from home, everything we are talking about is money. Eti mimi mtu mwenye ana earn pesa kidogo kunishinda can never tell me anything. Because how much is your teacher paid? And now she wants to tell me. So there's no way your child is going to go out there in uni and think that money is not everything.
After she's in uni, if you haven't given her guidance, she's gone. She's already gone. That's it. Like
and even
uni, she's gone.
Physically, you don't live with her sometimes.
Yeah, so just understand, like, now she's just operating in all the basics and things that you taught her. You were telling her money is important. She'll even be sending you money. But now you see the things that she has to do, probably survive. You don't even know. I mean, I think it's scary to raise a daughter right now. And of course, anybody who's doing it correctly, like, may God bless you, because others, we have to deal with it, the traumas here that you've already given, like, all your daughter's trauma. So you go to the next one, it's still the same. So, it's kind of tricky. Yeah, especially, let's say, are you raising any boys? You have a boy. A boy
and a girl, yeah.
That's very nice. At least now that makes you sure you have to balance kind of the two, because now, and I think even as a woman, you know how you can guide, like, your son. It's like, if you saw your son with a certain, let's say, girl, you already know what you can advise him. It's like, now I'm saying, of course, when they grow up, because they're going to grow up, and that time is going to come, So, but now somebody maybe who doesn't have, let's say, a son, it's only a daughter, and they've preached that for the daughter only, so the daughter just knows money. But any mom that you always know who has, like, a son, if you ask them that question, they're always like, that girl, apana, my son, no. Because moms know as well.
Something that we have, it's a trick. Is it a trick, or is it a mechanism that we came up with Mercy, is that you have to undo a trait that you see as it happens. You don't wait
immediately.
You don't wait for your son to get to 18 mwambie pombe ni mbaya.
No,
you do it as you grow up. Like mukitembea hivi kwa barabara and you see a drunkard on the road.
Like
you go and you take that as a learning opportunity and you tell your son, you know what? Why is that man lying there? They're lying with alcohol. You take that, and especially even for daughters.
Yeah.
Especially for daughters, whereby your uncle will come. Like, for instance, my brother would come and give my daughter, hey, chocolate, and my daughter will jump, hey, uncle, and let her chocolate. Now, you go and tell them, just because uncle loves you,
it's chocolate,
but it has nothing to do with the chocolate. Uncle loves you.
Yeah.
Irrespective of the chocolate or not, whether he would have brought the chocolate or not, they still love in there. Yeah, so that they stop to objectify.
Actually, true.
Link love with objects. Love with objects, yeah. And parenting is not that you fike 18 and then you tell your child,
here is the list of the things.
Here are the good things and here are the bad things.
That makes no sense.
It's conditioning that you do as they grow up, whereby you tell them, your friend tells me, like, for instance, my daughter will come. There was a time she had a really rich friend. Now that rich friend, they used to go for vacations every day. And now my daughter is like, ai sisi hatuendai
Mama, hatuendi.
Oh, wako na gari ine.
Oh
And
my
you have
God.
to tell them we are not the same. In fact, her parents were way older. Her parents were in their 60s.
Yeah.
They have 30 years ahead of me. So we are not the same. Yeah, she's more privileged. That takes nothing away from you. That does not mean you become
valued and loved the same way regardless.
That does not mean you, and I remember telling my daughter, that does not mean you become the jealous friend where you're like, siendi kwao leo. Wako na gari mingi. No, you go. You know, it's not a competition, yeah?
Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to see how much time we have. Okay, we have like 15. Okay, let's say 12 minutes there.
Okay.
So we have like just 10 minutes to maybe, I think, wrap it up as well, yeah. But I think, I think just basically, I think adulting is hard.
Okay.
And now all other things, and the unfortunate part is like things keep evolving and we also have to adjust. So methods that were working back in the days, they can't apply now.
They can't.
You can't just come with a kiboko and beat a kid. It won't fix them, make them change. You have to actually, now you even have to have that verbal conversation proper. And I